Alright, this is day 2 of the hike. We have about 4.5 hours to our next destination. So we're going to visit a little bit about our experience. Well, okay, so the first night, this is sort of a souped up albergue. It's not your traditional where you've got 100 people in one room.
13 of us.
Yeah, which we planned it this way. I mean, we got our private room, which was sweet, wasn't very much more expensive. Yeah. Accommodations are nice. The host was nice.
Ahead to get it.
Yeah, you do have to plan ahead. They're not very available.
Very, very nice.
Now, the culture, how would I say this? Okay, so, you know, they're the purists, and there are few that...
Well, they think they're the purists.
Well, the purist would be by the seat of your pants. You don't make reservations. You go as far as you can go, and then you stop. And then you look around for accommodations. So many of the albergues accommodate that, which I think is great because, for example, they don't rent every single room out. So they leave a few rooms available, certainly the larger albergue types, for people who hadn't made reservations and just happened to get here at a certain time, which I think is really quite nice. So in a way, the system supports the pilgrims. It's an interesting in that respect. So you can do this and not make all the reservations, not have all the planning, and they understand it. And they make accommodations to accommodate that. So I think in that respect, that's pretty good.
I would say even after day 1, I've already started to notice a little bit of snobbery over
Here's the funny, this is the humanity side.
People who are having transport, having their bags transported. If you're staying in hotels, if you've made reservations,
okay,
there tends to be, a little bit of a dismissal, I would say.
Okay, so I'm going to summarize.
Instead of, you know, we're all doing this our way, and what works for us. And
so what Melissa,
instead of the camaraderie of, wow, we're all doing this, it's a bit of snobbery, I would say. And I've already noticed that on day 1.
Okay, now I don't know what Melissa's referring to. Is we're going Camino light. Okay, Camino heavy would be you pack everything in your bag.
No, Camino heavy means you're going with only what you have. You don't even have shoes.
Yeah, that's right. And you go by the seat of your pants and you make accommodations as the day goes, and then you stop here and you stop there. There's no real plan. That's Camino heavy. We're going light. I'm not really all that interested.
Show your backpack.
I'm not all that.
Camino light. Right. Don't think so.
I'm not that interested in the humanity of 100 people in a bunk room, stinky feet with snoring, where you don't get any sleep. Okay, we hiked Mount Olympus. We stayed in a refugio, which is like a hostel. It's the same thing. It's almost the same thing, and it was rough. I mean, I was lucky to get 2-3 hours sleep. Snoring everywhere, hot and stuffy, stinky feet, grumpy people because everybody hiked Mount Olympus. So you know, it's not the. I mean, that said, people here do make an effort, I would say, at being kind.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's an innocence.
There's clearly a kindness. Yeah, but I want to see a little bit beyond that. I want to see
be clear of what your way is.
Yeah, so what that means.
Be okay with it.
Okay, like, and I thought about this, and I thought, you know, I'm going to make a record of this trip, and that's my way. And people may like it, people may not. And if they have a problem with that, then they're on the wrong way.
No, they're on their way, which is different.
Well, but you certainly shouldn't judge another person or another group of persons
which is a great lesson for life in general.
Yeah. So, at any rate, what else?
Day 2.
Yeah. So that's first impression. Now, we're not going to be staying in a whole lot of these albergues, so we're not really going to be seeing a lot of the same people. We're staying in different,
small
type
hotels.
of accommodations, which aren't a whole lot. These albergues are not necessarily cheap. Like the people who had shared bunks were about 47 euros. So It's still not like seven euros a night or something.
We would have spent.
But they do feed you a nice dinner and a nice breakfast. I thought that was kind of nice. So there is a culture here of taking care of the pilgrims.
We would have spent about $85.
Here's our group ahead of us.
So I think what I have to say is important.
Okay, go ahead.
It's all right.
Okay.
I was just going to say that if we had stayed in the bunks, the two of us would have been about 90 euros. But yet our private room was a little over 100 euros, so not much more.
Yeah.
And much nicer.
Much nicer.
We could even take 2 showers if we wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, that said, so you get a little token to take a shower, which is about a 4-minute shower. So when you get the bunks, everybody gets a little token, 1 token, and you get about a 4-minute shower. Although you can stop the clock, soap up, start the clock, and he did say it was quite warm. So that was good. Signing out. Okay, so we're probably about an hour into it today.
That's right.
And we're in a way the most beautifulest part of the hike, and this is what we got to look at.
We're in a cloud. Walking through a cloud.
So apparently at the pass we'll have a little bit of snow. We'll record that, but there's no wind. When they say the Camino in Spanish means road.
Or way.
And this is just a road. I had the impression that more of it went through the mountains, like on mountain trails, not on the road. So maybe all of it is on a road. We'll find out. That's a good looking horse.
Is the one pregnant?
I don't know.
Be careful.
Yeah. Oh boy, we're finally getting a little bit of. Yeah, we're like in the most beautifulest part of the hike and we can't see a thing. I mean, he's well suited.
This one's pregnant, I think.
All right, this is a little food truck, about an hour and a half into the hike.
Every day.
Yeah. Not so expensive. Lots of €1, €2.50. A little bit of.
Or no?
I know.
No, I came this way.
All right, you lost it.
By the time I got to the box.
Well, here's the snow they were talking about.
Yeah.
They've obviously not been to Canada.
At some point, Raymond, you're going to have to confront in your waking, conscious life and make a decision and not.
Yeah. So the true purpose of this trail.
The true story of the Camino de Santiago. After Christ was crucified in Jerusalem,
Okay, I know where you're going.
We're talking about.
the disciples split up.
James came here.
James the Greater came to northern Spain
Which was John's
and
brother.
France, you know, and he wasn't very successful in converting many people in this area. So Mary sent James,
Mary,
Mother of God.
no, not.
Saint Mary, Mother of God. Sent James.
Not Mary Magdalene.
No. Jesus' mother.
Jesus' mother.
Sent James a message.
By spiritual.
James returned to Jerusalem. So James packed up, left very few believers back in Spain, and went back to Jerusalem. He arrived in Jerusalem and was promptly beheaded by Pilate.
Oh, James. James, who was in northern Spain and in southern France.
He returned to Jerusalem.
And
was immediately beheaded by Pilate.
He was the first of the disciples to be martyred, right?
Uh,
I believe so.
yes, we're the second, I remember that. But his followers in Jerusalem took his body, took his head, took him to Capernaum, put him on a stone barge. No sails, no oars, no nothing.
Just to sink in the sea.
Yeah, nope. The stone barge sailed
A stone bark? Like
Barge.
A barge, yes.
Yeah, boat.
Boat, yes.
The barge sailed across the Mediterranean out to the Atlantic.
A stone barge, so it's made out of a hollowed out stone.
Yep.
Which would be impossible because of the weight.
That's the way they, there were a lot of that back in those days.
Yeah.
Displacement, float, all that stuff.
Yes.
So anyway, the stone barge, without power, without sails, without people rowing, sailed across the Atlantic into northern Spain, and the few followers he had in northern Spain met the barge, took his body, and hid it in a cave above where Santiago currently is.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's it.
Things disappeared for 900 years.
And then
900 years later,
somebody was walking about.
Nope, a hermit was living in the cave.
In the cave where James was buried, where they buried his body.
Found relics of St. James, pieces of bone and other pieces, and we'll see those in Santiago at the church, at the cathedral. Took him to the local bishop. Local bishop confirmed that they were relics of James. They took it to the Bishop of Rome. It wasn't a pope back then. The Bishop of Rome confirmed that these were relics of James. So they began, the Compostela of Santiago. Well, word spread about this all over Europe.
And they had carbon dating, right, back then?
No, they just wanted relics for the churches because it brought money to the churches.
So there's these actual relics of James. Word went out all over Europe, and people began as penitence,
yes.
and because priests said making the journey, to pray at the Cathedral of St. James,
which is where we're going. Santiago.
Yeah. Santiago means St. James.
Oh,
yeah.
James is Santiago.
Yeah,
yes.
Santiago is St. James.
That's So
from the 900s, it was there for a while, and that's when the pilgrimages started. It kind of went away until the 1300s, and then it became. If you lived in Europe, you couldn't make the journey to Jerusalem. The Crusades were in Jerusalem and all of that crazy stuff.
The Pope actually ended up confirming this as a proper.
He did in the 1300s, but you had the veneration in the 900s, and then again in the 1300s.
So James would have been in the 100 BC, AD.
No,
after the death of Christ.
Yeah, he was like 30 years after Christ's death.
Yeah,
no, not even that long.
Yes.
So anyway.
And so it was 1,300 years later.
Yep.
Okay.
So all over Europe.
Are we there?
I can't read that one. All over Europe, people started making the pilgrimages here. The rich would be carried in carts.
That's that true?
In lieu of going to Jerusalem. The merchants and everything would ride horses, and the poor people would put their sandals on, like me. You're being a traditional pilgrim.
I'm taking my socks off then. After this conversation.
And they would journey.
I think so.
We gotta go up. Are we it yet?
Well, we better.
1275. I don't think this is the...
765 kilometers.
Yeah, we're 4280, so we're right here.
So this is the French, Saint Jacques, Saint James.
Yeah,
that's a Saint James.
French, yes.
Yeah. Ooh, boy. Okay, we just probably passed into province of Navarro, and I bet you this is on the side of the mountain where it doesn't get much sun, like in a valley. So we still have snow. We're end of April. Kind of misty today. I mean, it's not as cold as I thought it would be, so that's kind of nice. It feels like it's about 45, but you're walking, so you don't really feel the cold. If you stop, though, you do feel it. But it has kind of a clearly an ambiance here.
That would be because I'm really struggling to figure out how to.
I'm not too sure what this is. Man, it looks like a pillbox. Military. And then we got some stairs. And then it opens up over here. Okay, getting to Roncesvalles. About maybe half a kilometer left. So I would say that the summary for today is probably, interestingly, the women that I've met, that a similar theme, that the ones that are out here by themselves, this is like the almost the first time that they've given themselves permission to be by themselves and do their own thing. I think that's really rather interesting. And of course they tend to be a little bit on the older side. So here we are, Roncesvalles. Okay.
Most of them are booking.
Arrival to Roncesvalles. I don't know, I think, oh boy, I wonder if that's the hostel right here.
Albergue.
Sheesh.
Okay, so
This is an Albergue right there. This is huge. I don't think they can get in yet. How frustrating. Neighbors. Okay.
You may not want to get into this place. Holy moly. Did you not have, you have reservation for tonight? No. So this is how it is.
This is how it is, yeah.
Ooh. Hey, okay, good luck then, my friend.
No problem.
Okay.
Madness.
Do you have reservations? No. Like, do you have reservations? Church. So apparently this is a municipal albergue, and it's first come, first serve, and I mean, it looks huge. So they're probably cheap, but people do hustle in a way to get there so that they can kind of get in front of the queue. If you don't get there and all the places are done, you got to find another place. But man, that place looks huge. So we're here, it's about 1:30. And so again, it kind of comes down to we're staying in a hotel, which, I mean, yeah, it's going to cost a little bit more, but boy, you don't have the pressure either. So I kind of agree with that part, not having the pressure. It's a cute little town. We're just on the outskirts of it.
I mean, I think it's pretty much it. I don't think it's
We got rain.
I don't think it's.
Okay, I want you to know, look at that sign. Santiago de Compostela, that's where we're headed. 790 kilometers. It's probably like 400 miles by hoof. Yeah, I think that was the municipal albergue. First come, first serve. It's probably cheap. It's probably the traditional way you do things. See, and that's Roncesvalles. Everything's a hostel here. Hopefully Melissa got herself a nice, boy, this is not a big spot. Somehow they got a church, but they got no people. Huh, what an unusual. Iglesia de Santiago. I mean, I bet you that was... This is just the back side of what we just looked at from the front. I guess this is our accommodations. It looks like the same as the Albergue. Hopefully.
That's the Albergue right there.
Oh, it is? I don't know about that, Chief. I don't know about that. I think it's on the very old. So a lot of these structures, hotels bought these monasteries or cloisters and then they convert them. And sometimes they're run by the government. When they're run by the government, they're much more cheap. But look at this stonework. This is really cool. We'll find out how much it costs here. So that's probably what this bad boy looked like back in the day. I mean, the whole thing is nothing but a church. Boy, these are cool. Huh. The elevator. It's probably... God, this is where it's going to be a major benefit to be able to speak the language. Okay, so man, these were pilgrims too. I mean, they were much more serious about their religion back in the day. And I would say we certainly lost that. All right, we're staying in 111, and you walk in. Okay, so this costing us 100, about basically 100 euros for the night. I mean, it's small. It's not super fancy or anything, but these are probably like monk places. And I think she said the Albergue is like 14, so you got a little stand-up shower, odd toilet. So got nice little views in the courtyard. There's like a little mass tonight. So basically for $100 you can stay here for 2 people, or you can stay in the Albergue for $15. That's $30 a piece, so $70 more. We got breakfast tomorrow morning.
Beautiful
also.
Hotel
So, yeah,
Roncesvalles.
we got it.
Hotel Roncesvalles.
Interesting floor.
Almost everything that I booked is about
Canadian.
Okay.
US dollar? Okay.
Yeah, these are huge. They have
How much
I could have sworn I had some coins in my purse, and I don't know what happened to them because I bought some cheese.
I've got to take a real quick look. So
Did you guys stop?
We did, we had the coffee. We didn't buy This place is about ready to go off.
Yeah, and the lights are.
We should have bought cheese.